So hey guys, welcome back to another new video, and today we'll be looking into the characteristics of virus. We'll be looking into living characteristics, the non-living characteristics, and clearing the concept. In the previous video we looked into the virus, discovery, and the history, and I do hope that you have checked it out and learned something from that. And if you haven't yet, go onto my channel and do that out. Moving forward to our today's topic, that is the characteristic of cell. First of all, let me tell you, further going to the living and non-living characteristic, we'll looking into the general characteristics. That is it, virus, virus, virus lies on border line of living living and non-living. Right, what is the reason behind that we will looking into living characteristics? Because it has got both characteristics. There are some living characteristics, there are some non-living. That this is the reason that it is still on the borderline. We have not classified into any group yet. And moving forward, let us look into the let me tell you a point that viruses viruses are around 10 to 1000 times smaller than bacteria. So can you imagine that we have got a cell that is a that is a microscopic structure. Then we have got bacteria that is even smaller than that. Then we have got viruses that are around 10 to 1000 times smaller than that. So from here you can consider that how small, how the microscopic particle this is. And it has got a size of around virus are from size of around, they are in size of uh, 20 20 nanometer to 250 nanometer, right? So from here you can see that it is in the nanometers and how small it is. And looking into more forwardly, looking into the living characteristics, living character. So in living characteristics, like we have uh, did characteristics, general characteristics of virus, then we look into living characteristics of virus, right? So the living characteristics would be like in a way that we have got viruses are in different varieties, natural varieties, we can say varieties, or strains. So this is a property of living organisms, that they do exist in varieties. We have got humans, every human is different. And we have got animals, there is a variety of animals. So we have also got a variety in viruses, or it is having variety on the basis of strains. Like we have got DNA changes in them. The DNA differs from one virus to another in many cases. So this shows what is a strain. Strain is a, it is a genetic variant, or we can say it is a DNA variant. And we've got they we can say own genetic material. They've got their own genetic material, and either in form of DNA or RNA. So the strains can be said it strains can be double stranded, single stranded. That is the variety that exists. And if you talk about genetic materials, that may be double stranded DNA, single stranded DNA, double stranded RNA, single stranded RNA. So there is a variety existing, and there's a difference on the genetic level, and this shows the property that these are the properties of living organisms. And we have got that they can reproduce by using metabolic machinery. Reproduce by metabolic machinery of host cell. Like, they are not having that much ability that they can reproduce on their own, but they can reproduce when they get into a host. Like they are obligate endoparasite or intracellular parasites, right? So when they get into cell, they just use the mechanisms or the machinery of the cell. We will be looking into that, into how this gets happened in the upcoming videos. This whole process is taking place, and this is how the cell, the virus replicates. Like, there's a single infectant particle of virus does gets into the body, then it produces its copies. And why does it not produce copies in the air? Because he has not got his host cell yet, and he is not in ability to do that on his own, right? uh, the next point is that uh, they enter host cell and cause diseases. Right. So viruses shows that they just having a target to, even though in the history we have not seen that some kind of virus is there that has did a benefit for mankind. uh, we have got another point. They get destroyed by UV rays. And this is a property of living organisms, that living organisms get destroyed when the UV rays are passed through them. While this shows that they have the living characteristic. Like, the UV rays means the ultraviolet rays that are the highly dangerous for living organisms. Moving forward, we'll be looking into the non-living living characteristics. And we did have got, let me highlight that, got non-living characteristics. And how is it is having a variety of living. How how we have got points that how it is living, but we have also got point that shows that they are not the completely living, or there's a difference from the living and non-living nature they are existing in. So first of all, the very first point is that they lack cellular structure, enzyme, and coenzyme, right? So this is a very basic property that there are multicellular organisms, there are unicellular, but virus is some kind of acellular, and that is unexpected. Like, we have not got a cell, we have not got a cell wall, we have not got a cell membrane, but the virus is having just its own DNA, the genetic material, and on that basis it is surviving. So that is, a shocking thing, and can be crystallized. They can be crystallized and stored in bottles. So this is some kind of non-living characteristics, because that is not common that one gets crystallized and he is just putting into bottles, but that is happening in the case of viruses. Virus don't respire. Hmm, okay, behave as non-living. And okay, so that is basically intracellular obligate parasite. So viruses don't respire. Don't confuse it with the breathing, that is respiration. uh, you know uh, the converting of the food or the feed or that the virus takes. So there is no concept of that in virus, that virus don't just like the it has some sort of food, and that on that basis it is being respiring or producing energy. That is not in the case of virus, and that makes it one of the point that it is coming under non-living characteristics, and it does behave as non-living, and it is basically an intracellular obligate parasite. This means that intracellular present inside cell, because that makes the host of the virus are basically cells, and they are obligate parasites. That means that obligates means host dependent. So they are intracellular obligate parasites. So I do hope that you have learned something. Meet you guys into the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.